Joining me now is Illinois Congressman Krishnamoorthi, a member of the Intelligence Committee. So that's one of the committees that will be allowed to question him. Thank you, Congressman.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you joining us for this breaking news tonight.
Yeah.
What do you want to know from the special counsel?
God, there's so much that we want to know. I think that one of the things that we'd like to know is, he said that there was insufficient evidence of a conspiracy, but what was the most compelling evidence? What was the evidence that we need to know? From a counterintelligence standpoint, we don't have enough information to know, like, what were the relationships that might compromise current Trump administration officials? And then finally, how do we prevent this type of interference from happening again in 2020? I think that's probably one of the biggest questions that are out there as well.
But how do you get substantive answers from your questions when he's going to have to go in front of two committees in one day? It's going to be a long day. I'm sure your time will be limited. You're going to have to, I mean, surgically, you'll have to do it.
Correct. I think you have to ask factual questions. I think that you can't speechify. I think you have to ask questions that are rooted in the report. I happened to read the report, and now we get to see the movie, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I think that having him answer questions that are based on what's in the report will be very illuminating.
What about those who may try to attack on the committee, who may try to attack his credibility, also want to know, as you heard Manu say, some of the Republican members may want to, at least one is saying tonight, know about how his team was assembled and investigating the investigator?
Sure. I think that he's going to be allowed to ask those questions. I think Robert Mueller has a certain stature and credibility that he'll be able to answer those questions quickly and perhaps even dismissively if they seem out of bounds. But he's different than any other witness that we've seen or any other character in this whole saga, so to speak, in the sense that he commands so much credibility in a town where sometimes it feels like the truth doesn't matter anymore.
So you don't think the circus atmosphere or the circus approach that we're here about, that won't work with him?
They may attempt it, but I don't think it's going to work with this witness.
I just want to play what we last heard from Robert Mueller and then get your reaction to it. Here it is.
There has been discussion about an appearance before Congress. Any testimony from this office would not go beyond our report. It contains our findings and analysis and the reasons for the decisions we made. We chose those words carefully, and the work speaks for itself. And the report is my testimony. I would not provide information beyond that which is already public in any appearance before Congress.
So, as you heard what he said there, right?
Sure.
He didn't want to testify, but he said he's going to do it.
Sure. Because
of the subpoena. What does that mean to you? You said, I'm not going to go beyond what's in that report. What does that mean for July 17th for you?
Well, as you know, he can't control what the members ask him. It will be up to him to decide, how he answers those questions. He may decide he needs to clarify certain sentences that he wrote within the report that might remain vague. I don't think that he should necessarily, stick to just reciting what are the words in the report, especially if there are legitimate questions about what they mean. Another thing is, subject matter that might have arisen because of what's in the report. I think if he just addresses some of those topics, I think he will still remain within the confines of what is raised by the report without necessarily going outside the report. So I think that's an important distinction. In any case, this is Mueller Unplugged. I think there's going to be a Super Bowl-sized audience for it.
Will you think you and other members will you get some advice or guidance for questions from expert questioners or legal folks to get answers?
Oh, we get a lot of advice every day about this topic, especially from my constituents, and the good people of Chicago and Illinois have a lot of things on their mind that they want to ask Mr. Mueller.
But there are people who are expert questioners who can probably offer you some help.
Absolutely.
To get a direct answer.
Please feel free to give me any advice you have.
Thank you.